When Are You Sure? Season 2 featuring Jimin and Jungkook was announced. Army Around the World expected another heartwarming travel show filled with beautiful destinations and friendship moments. But what if we told you that some of the most compelling footage never made it to your screens? What if the real story of their post-military bonding experience was hidden behind carefully edited scenes and strategic cuts? Today, we're diving deep into the unreleased footage, leaked clips, and insider revelations that expose what really happened during the filming of Are You Sure? Season 2. From emotional breakdowns to unexpected confrontations, from hilarious mishaps to touching moments of vulnerability, get ready to discover the raw, unfiltered truth behind one of 2025's most anticipated shows, the first day back together. According to production staff who worked on the show, the opening scenes of Jimin and Jungkook's first meeting after military discharge were deemed too emotional for the final cut. Sources reveal that both members broke down crying for nearly 20 minutes, overwhelmed by the reality of being free to create together again. It wasn't the cute, touching reunion Disney Plus wanted to show, reveals a former production assistant who spoke on condition of anonymity. Jimin couldn't stop crying, and Jungkook was trying to comfort him while fighting back his own tears. It was raw, real emotion that didn't fit the fun travel show narrative they were building. The leaked footage, which surfaced briefly on Korean social media before being taken down, shows Jungkook repeatedly saying, "We made it, Hyung. We actually made it through," while Jimin responds with, "I missed this so much. I missed US so much." The intensity of their reunion was reportedly so overwhelming that filming had to be postponed for several hours. The military stories they couldn't share. Multiple sources confirm that significant portions of their military experiences were discussed during filming but never aired. The most shocking revelation: both members admitted to moments of doubt about their future in BTS during their service, fears they had never shared publicly before. There was this whole segment where they talked about the darkest moments of their military service, explains former crew member Lee Minute-jun. Jimin talked about nights when he questioned if ARMY would still be there when they returned. Jungkook revealed he had panic attacks thinking about performing again. It was therapeutic for them, but too vulnerable for broadcast. When travel stress boiled over. Perhaps the most surprising unreleased footage involves a heated argument between Jimin and Jungkook during their third day of filming in Jeju Island. According to multiple witnesses, the confrontation started over something trivial, disagreement about their itinerary, but quickly escalated into deeper issues about their individual growth during military service. They had been holding in so much, reveals production coordinator Kim So-young. 18 months apart, both growing as individuals, both processing trauma from military service. When Jungkook made a comment about Jimin being too controlling about their schedule, it triggered something deeper. The argument reportedly lasted over an hour, with both members expressing frustrations about communication during their service, fears about their changed dynamic, and pressure to perform their friendship for cameras. The footage shows them walking away from each other, with Jimin sitting alone by the ocean while Jungkook disappeared into their accommodation, the resolution that changed everything. What makes this story even more compelling is how they resolved their conflict. Unreleased footage shows Jungkook returning with Jimin's favorite snacks and a handwritten letter apologizing for his harsh words. Jimin's response, reading the letter out loud and then hugging Jungkook while both cried, was deemed too intimate for public viewing. That moment changed the entire dynamic of their filming, notes script supervisor Park Hae-jin. After that fight and reconciliation, they were more honest with each other and with the cameras. But ironically, most of that honesty was considered too raw for the final edit. When everything went wrong. Behind-the-scenes footage reveals multiple technical disasters that created some of the funniest moments between Jimin and Jungkook. During their cooking segment in their accommodation, a kitchen fire caused by Jungkook's overconfident cooking skills led to chaos that had both members laughing hysterically while production staff panicked. Jungkook tried to make this elaborate Korean barbecue setup indoors, laughs camera operator Choi time in it. Within minutes, smoke alarms were going off, Jimin was fanning the air with a towel, and JK was standing there with this guilty expression saying, "I thought I knew what I was doing." The footage of them trying to explain to the fire department what happened is comedy gold. The fire incident led to them being temporarily banned from using the kitchen, forcing them to order delivery for the rest of their stay. Their reaction to this setback, turning it into an impromptu mukbang session while sitting on the floor, created some of their most natural interactions of the entire filming period. The drone incident. One of the most talked about unreleased moments involves a drone filming accident that nearly ended in disaster. During an outdoor activity segment, the filming drone malfunctioned and crashed directly into their hiking path, missing Jimin by inches. Jungkook's immediate protective reaction, physically shielding Jimin, and then angrily confronting the production team about safety protocols, showed a side of him rarely seen in public. The footage reportedly shows him saying, "I don't care about the show. His safety comes first. Always." Late night confessions. Perhaps the most significant unreleased content involves their late-night conversations during the final days of filming. With cameras rolling but the crew absent, Jimin and Jungkook engaged in deeply personal discussions about their fears, dreams, and the pressure of being BTS members. They talked about everything, reveals sound engineer Park Ji-woo, who monitored the audio remotely. Career doubts, family pressures, romantic relationships, mental health struggles. It was like watching therapy sessions. Incredibly moving, but way too personal for public consumption. These conversations reportedly lasted hours each night, with both members taking turns being vulnerable about their experiences. The footage shows them discussing the weight of ARMY's expectations, their individual artistic desires, and fears about BTS's future dynamics with all 7 members reunited. The promise they made. The most emotional unreleased moment involves a promise both members made to each other on their final night of filming. According to multiple sources, they pledged to prioritize their friendship above all else, including career pressures and public expectations. They held hands and promised to always be honest with each other, even when it's uncomfortable, reveals a crew member who witnessed the scene. Jimin said, "No more pretending we're okay, when we're not," and Jungkook agreed. It was beautiful, but too intimate for broadcast. Why so much was hidden? The extensive editing wasn't just about protecting the members' privacy, it was about maintaining carefully constructed public images and commercial viability. Industry insiders reveal that Disney executives were concerned about showing too much emotional vulnerability, fearing it might affect the members' marketability. There's a fine line between authentic and too real, explains entertainment industry analyst Dr. Kim Hae-soo. Showing idols as complex, struggling human beings can be compelling, but it can also shatter the carefully maintained fantasy that drives commercial success. The decision to cut their argument, deep conversations, and most vulnerable moments was reportedly made at the highest levels, prioritizing brand protection over authentic storytelling. The fan reaction that never came. Perhaps most intriguingly, focus group testing revealed that ARMY actually preferred the raw, unedited versions over the polished final cuts. test audiences consistently rated the unreleased emotional moments as more relatable and more meaningful than the broadcast version. Fans don't want perfect idols, notes fan culture researcher Lee So-minute. They want real human connections. The fact that their most authentic moments were cut suggests a fundamental misunderstanding of what makes these relationships compelling to audiences. The truth behind the magic. As we piece together these unreleased moments, a different picture emerges of Are You Sure? Season 2. Rather than a simple travel show, it was actually an intimate documentary about two young men reconnecting after a transformative experience, processing trauma, and redefining their relationship. The footage that didn't make it to air reveals Jimin and Jungkook as complex individuals dealing with real struggles while maintaining genuine care for each other. Their arguments showed they're human, their reconciliation proved their bond is real, their late-night conversations demonstrated the depth of their connection. Perhaps the most shocking revelation is that the behind-the-scenes footage is actually more compelling than what was aired. In trying to create a perfect show, editors may have removed the very elements that made their relationship meaningful to fans. The story of Are You Sure? Season 2's unreleased footage is ultimately a story about authenticity versus commercial appeal, about the difference between what we're shown and what actually happens, and about two friends navigating the complex reality of growing up in the public eye. As more leaked footage continues to surface online, one thing becomes clear. The real story of Jimin and Jungkook's post-military reconnect is far more complex, emotional, and ultimately more beautiful than anything that made it to Disney. The question remains, will we ever see the full, unfiltered truth of their journey together?